Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Venusian Light Tarot. So today we are going to be doing a collective energy reading update, and this reading is going to be for a specific group of people. If you do feel drawn to the reading in any kind of way, if you feel drawn to the title, to the thumbnail, or if this randomly pops up, then it could be for you. So just trust your intuition and take what resonates. So in the last collective reading I just did, I did mention that I would do a follow-up reading, and I feel like this reading could be a follow-up from that reading, but we'll have to see how it goes. I feel like there's some similar messages already coming up here. So yeah, we'll see what comes up and what Spirit would like to talk about. And also, if there will be an extended reading, it will be linked down below, and I will put the link in the description box over to Gumroad. I also have the extended readings over on Patreon if you would like to join, as well as getting an exclusive pick a card reading every week, as well as weekly scrying reading predictions every Monday. So when I tapped in here to the energy, the first thing I heard was, well, they showed me kind of like a puzzle coming together, and I heard something about it's being figured out. And I do want to also mention a few specific signs that could be for just a few people. There might be something here about moths, if you've been seeing a moth or moths around you. Or if you've been visited by a Luna moth, that could be a sign as well for somebody. I also heard Japan for someone. So something about this message may, include something with Japan, or you could be from Japan. And then I also heard messages through music. So there could be very specific songs and lyrics right now that are sending you signs. But the main message I'm getting here, it feels like there's an excitement, and kind of going off of what came up in the other reading too, there's a feeling of this like very exciting feeling. It's almost like there's a lot of energy. So like I said in the last reading too, it feels like I'm kind of in this very heightened energy. So I'll try to breathe more and slow down because there's quite a lot coming up here. But this seems to be for a group of people that there's something that it almost feels like a relieving feeling, like I'm finally figuring it out. I'm finally understanding this. And we have the 9 of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups. And I'm being shown, they showed me like 4 walls around you that are all collapsing. And now they're showing me like a tight belt or like a saran wrap that has been surrounded around you is loosening. So yeah, this feels definitely to be for a group of people. For some of you specifically, with the Knight of Pentacles here at the bottom, and we also have the card Expansion here, North. There could be something where for someone, I also was seeing something with ocean to ocean or coast to coast. So this is either literal to where someone here, you could be traveling from coast to coast, or it's like I'm finally realizing, I'm finally putting together where my future is going to be or what I would like to pursue. But it also feels like it's like you're cracking the code to something, which also could be, doesn't have to be location wise. It might just be that feeling to where it's like if you haven't been able to figure something out, like they're showing me someone putting like the wrong puzzle together over and over again. And it's like something happens, something clicks, and it puts you, it like catapults you into the right direction with the number 1 card here. So this might be for someone, literally you might be just kind of in a way packing your bags and getting moving into a certain direction that feels like you've understood now what that direction is. But as I mentioned in the last reading, and if you haven't watched the last reading, I'll link it down below because it probably is connected to this. And so I wanted to expand a bit on it. I'm hearing the name Brandy. Maybe Brandy should watch that reading if you haven't, because that came in really strongly. But yeah, this feels to be that with the Knight of Pentacles here, it kind of correlates to your practical lives as well. So like I said, for some of you, this could be how practically your life is going to move now, the direction in terms of your material world, your finances, your stability, your home life. It's like maybe it's something finally makes sense after a long time of something not making sense to you, or like the environment that you've been in. It just like maybe it didn't make sense. It was just like it was there, but it didn't really like fully touch your heart or your soul. It's like there's an excitement now of this new direction that you are being pulled to, or on a soul level. Because in that last reading, we have the card about the Akashic records. So I feel like with this North, it kind of reminds me of North Node too, and how I'm being shown with the Ace here too. There's this new beginning, which I feel is a part of a soul's journey that is going to begin to, you know, make more sense to you in terms of that direction, which is this new world of like these contracts and these situations that will begin to appear in your environment. And it feels like a steady road kind of with the Knight of Pentacles that you're now going to be on, which all of those things on that road are going to come together to build your new life, if that makes sense. So it's like basically they're showing me like a train hopping from this track to that track. And I think I was talking too about like route A versus route B. So this is kind of what's happening for whoever this is, and you would likely be feeling this or taking action towards route B. So we'll get in a little bit more here maybe today to what route B could be, what that's going to entail. But if you don't know what I'm talking about with route A, route B, it doesn't matter. It just, that came up in the reading. But it feels like it's this new life path that you're traveling, and it's like there's new experiences along the way that you're collecting under your belt, like, or that you're putting in your basket. You know, you're riding this new path, and then there's these new situations which are magnetizing to you because they're part of a new plan for you now, which is unfolding in your life. So let's get a little bit deeper into it and see what more Spirit can say here, if this sounds like it could be for you. Okay, so Spirit, tell us a little bit more. I'm hearing for somebody, I just heard pack your suitcase. Again, that could be literal, but for most of you, probably not, unless it is. But they're almost showing me that there's a few lingering items, so to speak, kind of in your life, physically in your environment or emotionally. And it's like Spirit saying, you know, put those in your suitcase now, the ones you want to take with you, and zip up the suitcase and go. It's like your future is calling you, is kind of what I'm hearing. This Nine of Cups here is like this genie in a bottle looking thing. So it's like this is calling you. So it's time to get that moving. It's time to go through this like inventory check almost. Like, what do you need to throw out and what are you packing in your suitcase? So it's like maybe the final, it's like that feeling before you go on a trip, you know, and you're kind of like thinking about the last items that you need, or do you have everything that you need? And are you packing too many things in the suitcase? Maybe are there some items that you can put back or leave at home? And in this case, it could be leave them behind entirely. So whether that's people, whether that is actual physical things, or just your old life, kind of, it just feels like it's dissolving. There's something here definitely with this Nine of Cups, which is like the world. Yeah, I mean, it's a very clear message with the world, and they want to put it right here in the center of the reading because it does represent the entire experience. This kind of one to fly out to the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like for some of you specifically here, though, you could be entering into a time where there's something of like being at peace with yourself, being at peace with like what you have. So if that means that you are with the world kind of wrapping up a cycle where you were around other people and you were deciding to go on your own for a little while, or maybe it's just the fact that you are mentally and emotionally choosing yourself now. But it feels like you are just going to be content, kind of like, you know, with this woman here with the squirrel, like just kind of being content with the moment And again, it keeps giving this feeling of like building a new life with these like bricks here or rocks, like beginning to build that wall back up to represent, in this case, more of your security. And this obviously comes right before the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like a lot of you are maybe starting to build towards your Ten of Pentacles, which would represent your long-term stability. For some, it could be if you want to have a partner or get married or have a family. There may be the step in the right direction now for you to start looking towards that direction. And maybe it was like, you know, with this north here, it's like following your true north or following this new path of expansion will lead you into that environment where you can build with new people, including love, if that's what you are looking for. So maybe you've left, you know, one person behind, or maybe you've just, again, with the Akashic records, you know, it's like there's just something that's been happening on a soul level here. This is at the bottom. And I was talking in that reading a lot about divine timing. So it's like with this big portal in the center here, it's like it's your time to build towards this future now. And some of those aspects are a bit mysterious because, you know, when we come here on this earth, we may not remember or know like when certain things are ready to happen, but we may have already signed that certain contract for this moment to happen before we incarnated. But basically, yeah, I feel like you're building towards this more solid future. So let's get a little bit more here. What else, Spirit? Spirit, show me the train, something with the train tracks. So definitely there could be travel for someone here, but they're showing me the train that you came on before you go on this new train. They're showing me that it's out of service. It's no longer functioning. So what they mean is that even if you wanted to go back on that train, or if your ego, you know, maybe like tries to pull you back, like you want to get back on that train, and because of fear or whatever it could be, it's like it's no longer even in service. It's like it's collapsed, it's dissolved. It's really interesting. And I feel like this is the energy of it, to where that Route A reference, the past energy of your life, or just where you're coming from before you transition to this new life path, it's actually like gone. It's nowhere to be found. It's like it just disappeared. And I feel like that's what they're talking about here with this Nine of Cups, like you're finally figuring it out. And I feel like this is a really good time, I'm hearing, for a lot of you to be very open to those solutions. So it could be small things that just pop up that you feel drawn to do. You know, it's many different things. I feel it has so much to do with every aspect of your life. I feel like this is almost like a brainstorming time, or just a time to be very receptive to the messages that you're receiving about this new path, because they're coming in really strongly, because it's all that exists now. You've successfully collapsed that timeline. So what else, Spirit? I'm hearing that phrase, something like not my circus, not my monkeys, something like that. So yeah, I feel like it's not kind of engaging your energy anymore in whatever doesn't bring you your wishes with the Nine of Cups. It's like, and we have two nines here. It's like it's time to put yourself first. I keep getting to. What else, Spirit, would you like to say for this message here today? I just looked at my big bowl that I have, which the bowl is like a big bowl of names and cities and countries. And I feel like I just, for some reason, looked at it, and I feel like Spirit wants me to draw from that at the end of the reading, because there could be some signs or names that may be symbolic for some of you. So I will pull from that bowl at the M. We have the Devil. Tell us a little bit more, Spirit. What else would you like to say for this message? We have the Hermit, and we have here the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. For someone, I'm hearing, I just heard, you have something special to share, so share it. Or you have something special to do, so do it. Yeah, so I mean, this kind of connects to what came up here just now about this new path that I feel, for a lot of you, this is like in the physical world. So it's some sort of job. It could be an area, location, a skill that you're sharing with others, a business that you're building, a home that you're building, a relationship even for some of you. And there's like I feel like there's a lot of fear here that this previous timeline that you were involved with this previous timeline, it's like it kept you from these goals and aspirations, and it kept you from maybe sharing and shining your true gifts and light. And I feel like some of you here are in that space of maybe that is the deciding factor, or that is the solution that you're having right now, of like, this is the way forward for me, or like, this is kind of what I've been looking to do. There feels like there's definitely something for some of you watching this that you are going to be starting, or just like putting much more dedication to. And again, it does feel to be more of like in the physical world, that is going to help you to get to that 10 of Pentacles. But it feels like it's like there's something else being dropped here though with the 10 of Wands. So that could be all that pressure that yeah, I feel like Spirit showed me that gas tank being refilled or refueled. Let me get some of these. What else, Spirit, are you saying here for this reading? Electricity. Yeah, kind of like with the gas tank being refilled. And in the previous reading, they were talking about putting air back in your tires. So it's a very similar feeling. And I feel like, yeah, it says wildness here too. I feel like a lot of you are being called here to like almost like boldly and wildly do things that you've been holding back on. So with the Hermit here and the 10 of Wands, some of you here might even start to feel, I can't tell if this is in love, because for some of you there could also be a relationship thing going on here too, or something that has been with the saran wrap reference. It's like it's kind of been restricting your flow of energy. And I feel like there's this invitation from Spirit to like let everything loose, or like let everything go. With the reference of the suitcase as well, it's like you wouldn't want to pack the certain items associated with the devil part of your life, the addictions, the lower vibrational habits, the people in it. You wouldn't want to take that with you here. So it's very similar to the last reading that I did. Very similar to that. And if that is for you, for someone, if you're starting this new journey, I'm hearing to just be a little bit patient with yourself, because the results are coming. It just may take, like I'm getting for someone specific, maybe like a year. You may be starting something now or deciding to follow that new path for you, but it may be like a full year before you see the results that you're really looking for, or before you feel fully comfortable in this new energy. It's almost like if you have a brand new kind of avatar in a way. That's kind of how they're showing it. I feel like, and I think this message actually came up a couple months ago, and I never got around to, going over it or talking about it, because it felt like there was a message here about this, and I don't even know how I would really explain that, but it feels like you're almost shifting into this new like identity of your avatar. So if you think of it from like an energy level, and I don't quite understand this, but I'll just kind of say what they're showing me. It's almost like if you're being injected sort of with this electricity, or you're being injected with these new codes, and these new codes are coding you to be a different person than you previously were. It feels really interesting. It feels like, what is this though? It's like a total collapse of the old identity. But this is not something that's in a bad way. Like, this is actually what was part of the plan all along. So we wouldn't expect, if we're playing like a video game, and maybe we haven't gotten used to the character, that this new character, it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? An alter ego. I don't know if that makes sense for anybody, but that's kind of how they're showing it, where you've literally are transforming here into a new being, which, I mean, it's still you, but it's just like it's a completely renewed you. It's like you've woken up from a long slumber, and in that slumber you've outgrown that previous identity of who you were. But yeah, to just kind of put it more simply, if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense for everyone, I just feel like you are ready to take on kind of the world in a new way. And the things that you're going to be accomplishing now, and the intentions that you're setting out to do, and the way that you feel about yourself, it's like it's going to be a different reality that you're building. It's going to be a different experience. So it's just like with this 10 of Wands and the Hermit, this is the old shell of you. It's like, if you, maybe a shell is a better way to put it. Like if you had a shell around you, or like a shield, and that shield represented the way that you were operating and the way that you were moving about in the world for a long time. And the shell cracked and it collapsed, and underneath it, it revealed the you that was underneath of it. And that you is one layer closer to your soul. I really hope that makes sense. Let's see, is there anything else, Spirit, that you would like to say here? I'm hearing it's not always cut and dry, is what I just heard. So I don't know if they're referring to what I just said, or, yeah, here's this card again. North, expansion. What else, Spirit? We have volcanoes, power. Yeah, and look at this, ignition, fire. This is such a powerful energy. I'm hearing this very motivational energy coming up. Some of you have this very motivating guide, and I'm hearing something like, well, I lost it now, but there's some kind of like big motivating like message that somebody needs to hear. Like, if you can dream it, you can be it. If you can think it, you can become it. And there's this push now that it's almost like if you're running a race and like you gave up on the last lap and you were going to just pull out of the race, but then something like came over you and you had this urge to keep going and like give your final push. That's what it feels like. And again, I kind of feel like for some of you, this could be a very deep message where maybe you somehow on a soul level, like, we're going to pull out of the game or pull out of the race here, meaning that there was something that you were like destined to accomplish, but maybe you kind of at some point let your fears and let the life circumstances that you were dealt keep you from that beautiful self and that beautiful mission that you have. And these could be people who, you know, were like thrown into your path to teach you those difficult lessons, and it's like you conquered it, and now it's like something has ignited and you have this power back. There's so much fire running through you. And again, I can like pick it up here in the energy too, where it feels like there's this inspiring, motivational, like fiery energy. So some of you are feeling maybe very motivated or very energized, or there's just something running through your veins that is like, it's very powerful, and it feels like you want to just keep going, or you want to start to do things that maybe you held back on for so long, or it never even crossed your mind that you could do something like this. So yeah, we have water, creation. There's like a lot of water and fire. And this, they're telling me, represents your soul. This represents, it's like the two are communicating. Your higher self now is communicating to some part of you that is ready to take action towards those things. You're no longer in a disconnect between the two. And what that means is a lot of success to come in the things that you will accomplish. And it means also, they're telling me too, something for some of you, you will achieve your mission, I just heard. So maybe you, again, either you kind of gave up on finding your mission, or you felt kind of hopeless in that department. Maybe it just kind of felt like that could be what they referred to with the solution for some of you. Maybe you've tried many different jobs, or you've dated many different, people as well. It could be in love. And there was always something missing. There was always something lacking there. And I don't know like what the reasoning for that whole thing was, but it seems like now there's an alignment to, you will carry through this mission now. Like you will be successful now. So yeah, somehow you may have found the right ingredient. Like you found the right thing, the right ingredient, the right path. And for someone specific too, there actually could have been a lot of interference spiritually here for some of you, because I'm almost getting this like manipulation energy with the devil. So for some of you, you may have been under some kind of spiritual warfare where that was the test, if you could overcome it. And if you could remember your power to take your power back. And it's like you've done it. And this was at the bottom when I just picked up this deck, motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something that you've been merely thinking about doing, then they say get busy and do it. Yeah, there's so much like, this is definitely a confirmation for whoever this reading is for. Like, this is definitely time to take action. So take action on those ideas, like really carry things through. If you like have a certain idea, but you are putting it off and thinking that it's only a dream, or it's like it's really time to do it. Because I'm getting something with the right mixture again, something with the ingredients, like the right mixture has been found, the right. And the ingredients represent the perfect environment. And that could be so many things. It could be like the ingredient of your thoughts, the ingredient of the physical relationships or the physical area that you live in. Everything is kind of adding up to create the perfect time for this. And I feel like that's what this divine timing is all about. See, and beneath this, I feel called to point out, we have clear, cancel, and release. Yeah. So let me get a little bit more, and I will do an extended for this reading, and we are going to go into some specifics. I think I'm going to pull some cards from every kind of theme. Like I will pull from the tea leaf cards and also the fortune teller's oracle, I think it's called, that has the specific events on them, specific things. And then I will also pull from a love deck, because it feels like this is affecting all areas of your life, because it's the upgrade of your entire being. So of course that's going to be affecting every area. But let's see if there's anything else that needs to come up, Spirit, that you would like to bring up here. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? I just heard October. So for someone, this energy could manifest fully in October. Okay, or you may be making some bold move in the month of October. Anything else, Spirit? We have lost and found. What was once lost is about to be found, thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. Yeah, and what this is essentially, mainly what's coming up in this reading is something with this motivation. You lost your sense of motivation, or you lost your sense of purpose, or like bounciness within yourself, or you lost that, again, connection, that intuitive connection maybe. And that's the feeling of that solution, like you're finding what you lost about yourself. I'm hearing the universe favors this, or the universe favors you. Come together. It says, fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps to get the job done. And I'm seeing at the bottom, we have wish wisely. So we have that genie up here, and it says, use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. Yeah, so I feel like this is kind of, it's almost like there's something here about priorities. Like I said with the suitcase, maybe some of you, because it kind of feels like it's in the planning stages, like you haven't boarded the plane maybe. So I don't know if that's because it's interesting, because we have a lot of this like motivation and like taking action, but there's also a time to consider too, though, and to pull back maybe. So what else, Spirit, would you like to say here? Is there any other message, or is this it? So I feel like Spirit might want to leave the reading here. It's like that's kind of what the message was. But again, we will go into some more specifics here. Let me just see if there's anything else that I missed here. So is the reading over, Spirit? Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Okay, so we have forgiveness and understanding, strength and guidance, and we also have guardian angel. Okay, and beneath that we also have raise your vibration. Yeah, so I feel like the reason this is coming up this way is because there could be a little bit of a transitional period here where your vibration has been on the rise. There's been things that have been shifting and changing within you, and it feels like there's this, there's this adjustment time period. It's like they're kind of showing me someone like going, zip lining or something, or skydiving, and we have to make sure that we like everything's fastened, or that we're like, whatever, fastened in, or we have the right equipment on. That's kind of how they're showing it. So there's almost like this preparation step before you take the flight. And that could be where it kind of like went a bit silent here, because I feel like there's a lot of, they want to say though, there's a lot of strength and guidance being sent your way right now. And Spirit does want you to be gentle with yourself as you take these new steps. They're kind of showing me also like someone learning to do things all over again, someone learning to trust themselves all over again, learning to walk again, you know, that not actually, but just the way they're showing it here with this lost and found. So like I mentioned before with the avatar reference, it's like there's something new developing within you, and you have to give yourself time to use that equipment, sort of, you know, or to prepare yourself. And I think for some of you with this forgiveness and understanding, I'm getting that there could be still some things to wrap up when it comes to completely closing out and forgiving whoever the people were or situations were, or yourself even, for the past version of yourself. And really putting that kind of to rest, really putting that completely away. And because it's with this raise your vibration, as again, you move through this change, it's like being put in a, I'm getting so much like quantum level references here that I'm just downloading as I'm talking. It's like you're being put in this like shuttle almost, and you're moving timelines in this shuttle. But when you're in the shuttle, all the changes are happening before you arrive to your new destination. And I feel like you are being given such a confirmation in this reading of these changes that are taking place and taking effect here for you. So again, this would be for a group of people who already feel this, you know, and you kind of know that it's like, you know that something's gone and over, or you know that that part of you is no longer like existing, is just what it feels like. And it depends on how like in tune you are with your energy, because some of you may just be putting it all together and you know exactly what's going on and you can feel the changes within yourself. But others of you, there could be, if you're not maybe like giving yourself enough time to tune in, or maybe you are not as sensitive energetically, there may be maybe a little bit of confusion too, because you're wondering why you feel these changes, and like again, this adjustment period. And it's like Spirit saying that we're giving you the strength and the guidance to navigate this. Everything's okay, I'm hearing. Everything's right. So if you feel like something's maybe going wrong because of all these things, or you feel this awkward in-between energy, maybe it's not because anything's going wrong. It's actually going right. I'm hearing all you need to do, they're saying, they're pointing to this card, all you need to do right now is to just forgive, again, yourself, forgive the past version of you. And I'm even getting your higher self coming in here, and it's already like they're already doing that. It's like all of the contracts, all of the things that train, it's like that train that has disappeared into thin air. Whatever was on that train, the people on that train, your higher self has been forgiving them and reaching an understanding as to why we had that experience. But now it's time for me to go, or now it's time for me to raise my vibration and level up into a new direction. So there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of fluctuating energy. So I feel like it's just kind of to be strong, I'm hearing right now, to just to ground yourself. I'm also getting be strong, be stable. I'm hearing this new path, you'll have a lot to learn, but they're showing you like an exciting way. Like there's many things along this path that I feel are going to be new experiences, new hobbies, maybe new things that you will take on. And it's like you are preparing for this new experience, and your vibration energetically is going through this change. So for some of you, I'm hearing something about upside down, and they're showing me the Hanged Man. So either you feel like things are upside down, or it could even be the Hanged Man energy is about, you know, seeing things in a new perspective, giving yourself that time. Like if you think of the world through the lens of being upside down, everything's going to look very different. But it also gives us a new understanding of the things that we only saw in a one-dimensional way before. So maybe giving yourself time to just see things in a new light, and to know that this kind of new version of you is automatically going to be seeing things differently. Your perspective on life and situations is changing. And it's also going to help you to find lost treasure within yourself, and not lost really, but treasure on this new path that your soul is refinding again. So connections maybe that you're finding each other in this lifetime again, because this split was supposed to happen for you to find those people. Okay, or finding that purpose that you're expanding to. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a few charms, and then I will pull from the bowl. And then in the extended, again, I'm going to be looking into just whatever else Spirit wants to say about just specifically. We will pull from the specific tea leaf cards, the other deck, some love decks, and just kind of extend more on what's happening here. But let's pull some charms, and you may want to turn on the volume because this can be kind of loud, as well as the bowl. Okay, so starting over here, we have Leo. So someone here could be a Leo. There could be something about right now, Leo season. This is going to be a lot of the effects of this raising of your vibration. The Lionsgate portal as well. There may be a very intense energy in Leo season. We also have this hand reaching for the butterfly. So yeah, it feels like this is also, this gives me a feeling of hope. Like with the dark sky, there's hope, and it's like you're reaching for that butterfly, which represents transformation. We have 8. Yeah, so this is August. So I feel like this is definitely symbolic of the month of August. Could even be something about August 8th. I don't know the exact day of the portal, but there could be something with August 8th. We have here, we have yes here. And we also have a kissy face. So this raising of your vibration could feel very liberating for you. It could feel very, maybe it's like there's a lot of either something involving love or self-love, just feeling kind of just good, just feeling sort of, I don't know, juicy within yourself. We have this chakra here, and I can't think of which chakra this is. I'm not sure if it's a solar plexus maybe. So if somebody knows which chakra symbol this is, but it's on top of the lost and found. So whatever chakra that is could be associated with opening up of whatever you're finding again within yourself. We have the number 0 here on top of the guardian angel. So yeah, this is your guardian angels really bringing you this new beginning. It's like it's time to set to 0 again. We also have this traffic light. So this gives me a feeling of almost like a bit of a void space or a temporary time of pause. That feeling I was just getting a minute ago where it kind of went blank. It's because I feel like there's a reset happening. It's like if you reset a machine and it takes a while to reboot. That's what I feel this guardian angels around you to help you with. We have a lion, or is this, I think it's a monkey. Yeah, it's a monkey. So I don't know what that's going to mean for you. We also have the male symbol here, Mars as well, I'm getting. So this is like action I'm getting with that again. With the action, it's time to take action towards things. We also have a rabbit. Yeah, definitely like for a fertile time, a time for action, a time for movement. I feel like there's something with this guardian angel that could be sending you specific messages about these actions that you're taking. But see, it's like that balance between action and pause. Resetting new ways of doing things. I feel like it's the way that you're going to be taking action now is going to be different. We have this little flower here. So flowers could be a symbol for someone. So we have this heart on top of the devil. So it could be that you're coming back alive after this devil moment, or after this time where it's like, again, there's so much inspiration. Some of you even are feeling inspired by the pain that you went through with something. It's like you feel motivated to make changes from that now. We have these two little lovebirds on top of this fire. And what is this card here? The 10 of Wands. So yeah, there could be something as well with the inspiration. We'll see what comes up in the extended, but maybe some sort of coming together in love too. Someone who feels inspired by you, or you feeling inspired by someone, or even a connection who, yeah, okay, we have the bells on top of come together. So I feel like there could be someone who I feel will enter your life at some point where I feel like it's going to bring news of a new inspiration, a new kind of like jolting of energy, a new love maybe, or just something coming together. It could be a union of some sort. We have this here, down with my demons. Yeah, with the mushroom. It's like there's been things that you've been seeing in an illusion. There's been things that have been very difficult to see in a different perspective. And it's like you're finding the flame, the courage, and the fire to remove yourself from those things and to make peace with them, to forgive. With this here too, you know, it's like these bones or something. It's like you're kind of bearing it all down. You're forgiving, you're letting go. It's time to churn that into fuel. We have Gemini on top of forgiveness. So for someone specific, if there's someone around you who's a Gemini that you need to forgive, or if you are a Gemini, that could be an extra message, but it could be something around Gemini season or communication. It could be too, communicating with someone here about forgiveness, about what's kind of been gone, or like what's dead, what needs to be maybe let go of. We have the I think of fall here when I see this, maple leaves. So I feel like there could be something around the fall season. I was hearing October. So some of these changes could take full effect in October. We have a bear. So this gives me a feeling of protection. The black bear could mean something for someone, could be a totem for you. We have the candle on top of the Ace of Cups. So yeah, it's like you're being guided to love and to self-love and to just this, yeah, beautiful new beginning of love. We have this butterfly. So yeah, there's like some sort of rebirth happening with the people that you will come together with. We have a gift here. Yeah, Spirit's saying to be strong because there's a gift coming. Your strength is a gift as well. Okay, we have this symbol here. We also have the chess piece. And we have the little flower. Yeah, I feel like you're being given direct kind of confirmation from Spirit about the moves to make now, the strategies, the alignment that you're coming into. And then the last one we have a wink face on top of the motivation. So this could be like kind of a message from Spirit, like giving you I don't know, being funny about it, like giving you a wink of motivation, or like a wink that you're doing the right thing. It could be somebody, again, maybe in love, that's going to help to motivate you, some sort of flirty exchange. So yeah, we'll see what comes up. But I will leave it here for this reading. I really hope this was helpful for whoever it was for. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know how this is kind of manifesting for you, if you're feeling this. And yeah, I'll go over now to the extended and see what else comes up. So I will talk to you all over there or next time, and take care. Lots of love. So I just remembered to do the bowl. I had said goodbye and then I was reminded again of the bowl. So let's go ahead and do that now, if I haven't lost you already, if you haven't already clicked off. So let's pull from the bowl, and this is not going to be for everyone. So if you are not interested in the bowl, then you don't have to watch this portion. So I know some people don't like the bowl, so you can just go ahead and skip over it. That's completely fine, and it should not affect the reading at all if you just skip it. But some people need to hear a message in here, so I will pull from the bowl now. Okay, so starting with names, we have Maddie, we have Bernadette, Linda, Nashik, Marik, Marjorie, Cornelia, May, Yolande, Anne-Marie, Jasmine, Amelia, Eva, Katya, Eduardo, Max, Kamal, Andy, Jamie, Ronald, Ivan, Vanessa, Pam, Lindsay, Diana, Cyan, Telma, Minu, Richard, Ashley, and I mentioned the beginning, and here we have Japan. So there's something with Japan for this reading. It's going to be a confirmation for somebody. I don't know if, again, you're from Japan watching this. It'd probably be more so if you're like either moving to Japan or you have an idea to move to Japan, or there's something connected to Japan as a confirmation for someone, because that's a double confirmation of Japan. We have Spain, we have Mexico, we have Arizona, Wyoming, Scotland, Croatia, Seattle, Kenya, Australia, Missouri, and then we have Libra, Rising, Capricorn, Moon, we have Engineer, we have 70s, and we have Construction. So yeah, I will leave it here, and now I will go over to the extended. So I will see you all over there, and take care.